Anybody else have a question?
I do.
What helps you overcome, like, when you feel like you're stuck within creativity, like a writer's block almost? Like, what helps you attain more creativity from that? And, like, what helps you get past that when you feel like you're stuck? Okay.
I can start with this. This is an easy question for me because I've been there multiple times. Two things. First, force yourself to learn new moves. It's the hardest shit in the world. If you can't think about your base amount of stuff that you can do comfortably without thinking about it, and then think about all the crap you want to learn, and stop thinking about the stuff you already can do, and learn stuff that you cannot do. It will open up doors so quickly, dude. Like, you can't flare, learn how to flare. You can't air flare, learn how to air flare. It's like an instant block remover because it adds brand new, incredibly difficult vocabulary to your already existing vocabulary, and it feels good once you've learned it. Second, listen to different music or take a different dance. Like, take a salsa class, take a tango class, take a jazz class, take a modern class, do something else. Because the thing is our dance is really new, and it pulls from a lot of previously existing dances, like everything from capoeira to jazz to lindy hopping to, everything. Like, there's so many influences in our dance, like salsa alone. Like, if you went and took a bass salsa class, you'd be like, oh, that's where that move came from. Oh, that's where that other move came from. Like, that was the easiest thing for me to get through blocks, was I forced myself to learn new material that I was definitely not comfortable with. Because the thing is, like, if you guys are earning battles consistently, what you want to do? You want to train for your battles, right? Stop training for battles. Train new moves. Like, it'll just help so much. So yeah, my 2 cents.
Anybody else?
For me, one of the biggest things is like mastering a move, and I feel like that's when you can start getting really creative with it. So for instance, like one of the ones I really worked on for a while was like swipes. Like I just practiced them over and over and over, and I think once you have a move like down to where you can hit it anytime, you can kind of hit it out of really any position. When you get that control, that allows you to start then adding stuff to it, like adding like a thread or toe touch or whatever. So once you get a move down, I think that's when you're really going to be like able to add your creativity to it because you have so much control. Another thing is, like he kind of touched on, is learning a new move. In the process of learning a new move, a lot of times that's where moves are created. So for instance, like, windmills. Like, at least from what I've heard, they were created because someone was trying to do a backspin and do it continuous, and they just ended up doing a backspin over and over until it became a windmill. So that's like how it was invented, by someone doing something wrong. So, for instance, like learn a flare or whatever, maybe you can't do a flare, but it becomes like a new transition, or you learn like this weird trick out of it because you did it wrong, but it turns into a new move. So definitely, like what you said, like try to learn something new, and even if you don't get that move, you might come up with a new like variation on something. And then, yeah, look at other dances. Also look at like martial arts, look at like anything that involves like physical movement. Like, so it doesn't even have to be a dance. It could be like acrobatics, it could be anything. Because you can get inspiration from all that stuff.
Yeah, one more thing to that. And if you have trouble learning the move, this is the other thing that I've come to realize, like, if you have trouble learning a move, more often than not, it's because you're physically not capable of doing the move at that point in time. Like, it's not that you can't do the move, period. We're all human beings. We all have legs and arms. It's usually because, like, I couldn't do flares. I lost flares because I got fat. Like, my core strength just was zapped. You know what I mean? And then I started working out again and, like, magically discovered 2 weeks ago I can do flares again. Like, it really was a strength issue. So if you do tackle a move and you're looking to learn new stuff for inspiration, and you, for some reason, are just struggling hand over foot with it, examine the muscle groups that are required. Like, there's like how much strength do you need to have air flares? Like, you'd be surprised. Think about the dudes that do air flares consistently. Most of them are not skinny. Most of them are pretty ripped. Like, so just keep that in mind too as you go into that process.
So I have a few things that I personally do to help with the creative block and whatnot. everything that you two said, man, you guys hit on a lot of things that I enjoyed listening to. But a few things that I do is one, dance in new places, like not just Montevilla or this community center or that place. What I mean by that is we are three-dimensional people, and we dance on this flat floor right here. So all of our steps, all of our footwork, all of our forms are based off of this flat thing right here. But there can be a floor right behind you. If you just stick your foot right there, there's an imaginary floor. You just turned it like this, right? Or if you're upside down in a invert freeze or something, you can make a new floor on top of your feet right there and dance on the imaginary floor on top of you, okay? You're hopping on one hand, you know? I've seen you hop on one hand like a minute straight, so I know you can come up with something while you're up there. Dance upside down. Don't just hop upside down. Think about if that was a floor, what could you do? Like a crossover step, or could you do a shuffle step upside down? I don't know, but some of those questions you have to answer, like he said earlier, like on a staircase. A staircase is shaped like this. You can't dance a six-step on a staircase very easily, brother. So you're gonna have to figure out some new way of dancing on that staircase. Or if there's a pole in the way or a rail in the way, you have to go underneath it, then you have to go over here and down around it. So you're going to come up with new creative ways, and then all of a sudden you take those things away, and when you're on the floor, you do this move, you take a step back as if there was a step right there to place your foot on, but nobody sees a step, it's only in your brain that was there. You see what I'm saying? Another thing is you can draw from, like you said, acrobatics, but you can draw from, it sounds really stupid sometimes, but animal movements, like the way a cat would move when he's in a skinny space to turn himself around. I learned how to turn extra 15 minutes on my footwork because of that. Most people when they're talking about footwork, they only turn, like north, east, south, west kind of thing. I can turn halfway around just by this one little cat move. Or try to mimic other people for the heck of it, just for comedy's sake, imitate, not necessarily schooly style, but imitate Mighty style when you go home tonight with your friends, just for fun's sake. It's not like you're trying to make fun of him. You're just trying to like tease and be like, oh, if I was this person, I would go about it like this. Or Doe Rock, how he runs around like a gorilla. Act like other people, and you'll find something that you like yourself. Or a piece of this or a piece of that, and you're gonna throw it all together. You're gonna make your own stew. So, mock other people for fun. Mock other animals. The way a raccoon runs is different than the way a cat would walk. How would your footwork look if you were bounding around like this on purpose with no, clean footwork? You can make movements up. So don't box yourself in with what breakdancing or b-boying is supposed to look like. Do whatever you really want, because whatever you want to do is going to end up looking cool to the right person at some point in time. It may not be cool today, but it's going to be cool tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? So dance in different places. Dance on a hill. See what it feels like to dance going downhill. The gravity pulls you down constantly. You can do swooping styles. Trying to dance going uphill, it's going to be really hard, so your footwork's going to get really strong going uphill. So yeah, different surfaces, and dance with different people. You guys have your crews, and that's great and everything, but if you dance with the same people all the time, you're only going to rub off on each other so much, and you guys are going to be strong together, but if you don't branch off on your own and network with other people, those influences aren't going to be able to rub off on you at all. So don't box yourself in with just dancing with your friends. If somebody's a jerk, you don't got to dance with that guy. If they're cool and they don't got no beef with your crew, there's no problem dancing with other people, because your homies aren't always going to be around. They're going to go off to college. They're going to be at U of O. They're going to be somewhere else. They can't practice with you every time. So you guys got to dance with different people, different surfaces, with different frame of mind.
Yeah, like kind of what he was talking about with your strength. Like I already talked about it earlier, where you lack strength, you can make up in flexibility. I will drive that home. But the biggest thing that my hurdle was, personally, was being trapped here in Oregon. If you, like he was kind of getting at, dance with other people, get away from what you normally do. If you step outside of your comfort zone and travel the world, the United States, wherever you can get to. I know you guys are all, pretty young and probably don't have a lot of money to travel the world, but whatever chance you can take that chance to travel and meet people, and a lot of your creative stuff is going to happen spontaneously, and you're not even going to mean to make up something, but you just accidentally do.